County, we are back in the crow's nest with Coach Crow. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, off-season football.
A lot of workouts going on in the morning. Yeah, and it's been cold. The last 3 mornings, we've been in the 28, 29 when we started in the morning. But the kids are working hard, really hard.
So what time do the kids start? What time are
We
you
started
guys
at
getting
7. We used to go 6:30, but since school got bumped back a half an hour, so we start lifting it. So we go 7 to 8 every 4 days a week.
So that helps a little bit.
Yeah,
with the kids, and
yeah,
especially the kids that live a little bit out in the country.
The kids like from I have kids come all the way from Lockwood and
yeah,
up that way. But yeah, that's helped. They would, I think, prefer to get out of school earlier than we do now, and that's caused all kinds of problems. Kids are missing a lot more class to go play in, especially in the winter and spring sports, because they play, 3:30, 3:45, 4 o'clock, and so
because it got bumped up a half an hour.
Bumped back, yeah. So school starts a half hour later now.
Wow.
State law.
How does the teachers feel about that?
Most of us don't like it.
Yeah.
Most of us don't like it. I mean, there's some that might, but what it does is but they didn't change the middle schools and elementary schools, just the high schools. It was a state law specific for high schools. So if you have now you may have to,
wow.
Yeah. So it's messed everything up.
Oh,
I mean, and to think you raised high school kids, right? You had 4 of them, right? They told you, hey, school starts half hour later, were they going to go to bed at the same time? No. They're going to go to bed an hour later now.
Right.
Yeah. So they're not getting any more sleep.
No, that's too bad. That's too bad.
And it's impacted a lot that way. I mean, us in the athletic world, it's impacted us a lot.
I bet.
Yeah. Especially the basketball and baseball is going to impact them a lot with travel.
Well, let's talk football. What do we got going on? How are we looking?
So kids are working great. We have the highest number of kids on our varsity roster I've ever seen at the school. We have 50. Never seen 50 kids. Hopefully they all make it through the summer, through the spring and the summer and stay with us, and that'd be great. The next kind of big thing we have coming up, so it'll start. I think it starts on February 11th, but I know it goes through Valentine's Day. We're involved with the it's a cancer fundraiser, cancer awareness fundraiser that the firemen do.
Okay.
And they sell the flowers in front of the Legion Hall.
Okay.
And that's all. They set up tents, and the kids come and help sell, and they help do the arrangements, and even our football players out there making flower arrangements and helping sell. And Joanne Wall, her husband's Brandon Wall, the fire captain, and one of the fire captains. And what they do 2 things with that. One, it's directly to one of the I think it's from a cancer survivor situation. And
interesting.
And then they also raise money to send people to Seattle, because they do a stair climb. You know how they do this? Well, it's Seattle every.
And you've done that with them.
Yeah, But now the firemen actually go to one of the big tall building in Seattle. I don't know what the name of it is, and they go all the way up, and that's for cancer. That's a fundraiser for cancer. That's for cancer,
with the pack and with everything,
cancer research. And so the bulk of that situation, they make a donation back to the football program for us helping, but we're out there to help raise money for the I don't know which cancer group it is, but I know it's
and I believe Templeton's done that. You guys have done that for quite some time.
Yeah, that's been going on. We just got involved last year, and it really kind of helped us and helped them. And
nice.
They've had a couple of firemen pass away from cancer, and so they've jumped all in. And I think it's for the cancer research groups.
Now, do you know if parents can buy those, or anybody can buy those beforehand and pick up?
No, I don't think they do pre-orders.
Okay.
I think they show up, and
so it's just
first show up. They drive through. You come up, walk out. It's all outside. It's a great, and they use it because there's some parking there at the Legion Hall. There's a place to park and set up, and it's a really nice situation.
And I think that's really, really an awesome thing that you do, with the team for the community, is you really bring, the players and the community and the coaches, you make it an event.
Well, and like that's important. And like we've had our kids go out and help do park cards at Costaro for the music festival they have. We help at serve food at the Denim and Diamonds for the Templeton Education Foundation. Our kids go set up. We have one group go in the morning and set up, and one group come and serve at night. We're all about the community, because that's who makes us go. I mean, we know that we can't survive in the football world without them. And our kids, and it's a small town, so hey, we want to be part of the town. That's for sure. We participate in the 4th of July parade. We want to be out there. Our kids, I think it's important for our kids to give back.
And speaking of a small town, tell me how Ian McPhee's has an impact on football.
Well, I think Ian McPhee has an impact on a lot of things in our town. So let's start with, he has I think once a month or twice a month, he has a Rotary breakfast there. He does every year at the end of the year, he has the senior breakfast there, and I don't think he charges the kids for that. We do our fundraising auction there in August, and he's a big supporter of that. You know, he helps us, gives us the restaurant, you know, for us, and he's a great deal he makes for us to, you know, it's a lot cheaper than you would normally have to pay for the food. He's a huge donator. I mean, he donates back to the football program out of that. And then obviously every home game he feeds us. And last year that was 9. So our kids got 9 free McPhee's dinners.
Wow.
And then when we do our, after the flower thing, one of our big fundraisers, you know, is the FCA car raffle. And he gives a dinner for 8 for whichever kid sells the most tickets to his family.
That's awesome.
And I mean, he does that he doesn't do it for football, but he'll tell you if it wasn't for football, he wouldn't, you know, that's how he got into college. It paid his way to school. And
that's amazing.
Poly. Yeah. And he's just,
let's not, you know, I mean, the food is
the best.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's the best. And he's just the best. And he's, you know, he's very picky about his food and, you know, what he makes, and he doesn't have a giant menu, and it's the best place around here to eat. I mean,
awesome.
I really enjoy it.
So football 2023.
Yes.
So we've got, you know, a healthy, big junior class moving up.
Yes.
So what are we looking at? Any changes? Any surprises?
No, I don't foresee any. We're gonna, you know, we're always tweaking things. You know, we want to take advantage of our players. You know, especially we're offensively now. We want to take more advantage of Anthony's ability and Chavez's ability to run. You know, we need to get him more involved in the quarterback run game, just because it's going to make us better. You know, defensively, we're looking at some stuff that help us get our best 11 kids on the field, and not try to pigeonhole the kids into a defense. You know, we're going to be more multiple. I think that helps us, you know, if we can line up in different stuff and play it well. You know, again, I go in front of the board Thursday night to get the trip to Idaho finally all approved, so we can start selling the seats to the parents on the plane.
That's awesome.
To go with us. We've had a tremendous amount of interest in that. So we're looking like we could have almost 130 people between the players and families going, 130 people on that flight.
Wow.
So
you guys are going to have the whole plane, right?
Right. Yes. We've chartered a whole plane. Yep.
Wow. And so how many seats are on there?
I think we told them 125, and they said it'll seat more than that. And if we go above that, we just have to pay extra for the people, which is fine. I think we can go up to 130, 135. But it's right now the interest for that's great. I mean, we talked about it at our football banquet, and then we've had people emailing.
So what happens if you get a overloaded interest? I mean, is there another plane option?
We'll just have to stop it. And what we're going to do is that it'll come out. We'll probably next week, if everything gets approved as planned. So this is all as planned. We're going to start taking money on February 1st, and the first people that the deposits will be non-refundable.
Well, and what's the seat? What's the seat going for?
$620.
Okay, round trip.
Yeah. So we're going to go. You have to put half down, and it's a non-refundable deposit. So that way we know people are actually truly. Because what we don't want to get down is when we have to pay for it all in June 1st. Sure. We don't feel, I'm decided not to go. And now we got to give them a check back. And
right.
So you've got to be interested. Now you can pay the whole thing right up front, boom, and be done with it. I mean, and some people will do that, but we're making it so you can pay half now and half later. And
now, does that include like the room? Because you guys
that's a separate thing.
Okay.
The room. The parents' rooms and charter bus for them and everything is being handled. Joanne Wall and Lori Giavatti are handling that, and so they're setting it up through looks like we're going to set it up through the boosters. So because that way the money goes one place and the boosters will write one check. Right. But nobody's making any money off that. Trust me.
Right.
We got a phenomenal deal on the hotel. There's a casino hotel there right outside of Pocatello. And they got us a room rate of $117, including tax.
Oh wow,
which is amazing.
Nice.
Everything else was around $200, and
that
they
is
hooked
nice.
it because we're staying there. I think one of the other teams is staying there, and it's a big place, so they gave us a great rate. And then I think I talked about last time, on Friday night, Brandon Wall's brother owns a cement. They make gutters and sidewalks and that and curbing, and he's having the whole team and parents to his place for dinner.
Oh, fun!
And that's included. I think the parents are paying like $20 or something cheap, and
Not bad.
And then charter bus. Yeah. So it looks like the whole trip for them: plane, room, 2 meals, charter. The whole thing is like $850 somewhere.
That's not bad at all.
Well, I hear people. Well, I can fly to. I had somebody say we can fly from Santa Barbara to Salt Lake, and our cousin lives there. Well, then go do that. That's fine. We're not.
Right. We're not orchestrating the whole trip for you,
because we're you're going to get charter flight. Don't have to pay for parking in Santa Maria. A bus picks you up at the airport on the tarmac, to take you to the hotel and to the dinner and to the game, and they'll take you back to the airport. There's a couple meals involved in it. I mean, that's a pretty inexpensive. I mean, you start doing all that on your own, it's not cheap.
No, not at all. And so you want to give a shout out to the airplane? Who's
we're flying Allegiant Airlines, the one that flies to Las Vegas.
Nice.
Yep. Same.
That's amazing that they work with you guys.
Yeah, they've been great to work with. We got to set what time they pick us up, what time we take off, what time.
Wow.
At both coming and going. The plane is that's another huge thing. Plane's at our disposal. Like if we need to change it 30 minutes, but we're good.
So are they going to fly there? Because you're only going there one night and coming back. So they're going to fly there, and probably the pilot's going to stay over.
The crew will stay. And
are they going to come to the
I don't know. I'll give them tickets if they want.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I haven't talked to that. We haven't got that far yet.
Make sure you smooth the pilots.
Yeah, they've been great. And then the hotel, we've been working back and forth with them. They gave us the code for the booking number for the parents to get their rooms at the same rate as the kids. And
wow, that's going to be great.
And then when we get to the hotel, we're setting up a lunch in buffet luncheon in the banquet room, one of the banquet rooms. We're all going to eat together. And then on Saturday morning, the parents are on their own for breakfast and stuff, but the kids are going to do the same thing. We're going to go back and eat together, and we'll try to make it as similar as we would as a pregame meal at Ian's. I mean, it won't be dinner, it'll be breakfast, but go through our normal pregame day, and then we play at 1:00. And then the school where we play that's hosting the 4 games on that day, well, they host all 8 games. Talk to their athletic director. He's going to have food delivered to the stadium, to the locker room for us to eat before we get on the plane, so we don't have to stop and eat on the bus. It's going to be delivered to us. And,
what an experience.
Oh, it's so far, the people we've dealt with back there have been amazing. They're like, hey, what do you need? What can we do for you? And what time you're playing.
We always talk about, kids and football and experience.
Right.
These kids will never
ever forget that.
Forget this experience with their buddies, with the coaches, who they went with.
Yeah.
And,
and I think that's why some of the parents are so gung-ho to go. Of course they want to go see their kid play.
Sure.
And like some of them are like grandparents are going, the whole family's want to go, and because we may not ever get to do this again. We might, but not this group of kids will never get to do this again, obviously. Right. Because they're only going to be together for one season as a whole group. And it's very, when we first started talking about it, people are like, well, why do you want to do that? Well, first of all, we want to honor our kids.
Mm-hmm.
They've worked their butts off. They've done what we've asked them to do. Let's honor them. Let's do something special. The parents jumped in. Hey, we'll raise, they helped us raise all the money. And then, then when we talked about them going with us, they were like, oh yeah, let's do that. People weren't shying away. They were like, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure Templeton's very, very receptive and supportive.
Right. And it's not, and not everybody can do what we're doing. We understand that. And that's why this is a special place. Like not everybody has a homecoming parade. I don't know of anybody around here. Nobody does that anymore. Maybe in the Midwest, how many football teams are riding around in their town's 4th of July parade.
Right.
Or the best restaurant in town feeds them for nothing. All the time.
And stadium's packed on Friday nights.
We're drawn well, and they sell out of tri-tip sandwiches on Friday night.
The best tri-tip sandwiches on the Central
Coast. And they
sell
out all the time.
Oh yeah.
And that's good because the boosters are making money. I tell everybody it's a win-win-win. It wins for us, it wins for the school, and it wins for the community. It's a triple. It's not we hear all that. We're a triple win.
Right.
To play at Templeton, and it's really special.
And what a great way to start the season off.
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
Of that memory to a championship season.
Right, and we're going to play a championship team. Well, we're opening it. They're good. We've traded films with them. They're a very good football team. I can see why they win. They've been in the state finals 4 years in a row for their division.
Awesome.
And they're legit. We're not going to play some school that's 2-8. So, and that's all, and that's what they do. The Idaho part of it is they want to honor the best teams in Idaho with this opportunity to bring teams in from out of state and play.
Wow.
So it's
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
They're coming from Colorado, Utah, California, and I think they're trying to get a high school team from Canada to come play one of them. That's what the guy was telling me. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's pretty cool.
Awesome,
very cool.
So circling back around, we've got the Flowers coming up,
right? In 2 weeks.
That benefits the football program.
Yeah, it will because of the work they do. They give us a donation back, but it's really for the cancer survivors and that cancer awareness group. That's who we're out helping them. We want, they're going to help us. They're going to give us a donation for our time, but we want to raise a bunch of money for them.
Right.
And then in April we'll start selling the car raffle tickets for the All-Star game.
For the All-Star game,
which were our football program sold more than any other football program in northern Santa Barbara and San Luis County. We sold the most last year. We're the smallest school in it, and we sold them smaller, but we sold the most.
Awesome,
tickets.
And I think one of our teachers won it last year. Was it last year?
No, they won it the first year I was coaching, so 2020.
Okay. Duhan
won it. Yeah.
Amazing. I never heard of anybody winning, and all of a sudden
they won it, which was pretty cool. And then so then we'll get ready for summer football, and we're excited. The kids are excited. Like I said, I say that a lot, but I look in our weight room and I see the numbers of kids that are involved in our football program. We'll have 100 kids involved again, over 100 kids, and a school of 750. That's a lot of bodies. We have under 400 boys, so we have 25% of the boys in our school participate in football.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's not common.
and we'll definitely get into this, probably on some future segments. But I mean, you got to be excited. Some of these kids and the size of these kids coming into the program.
Yeah, it's funny. I told our offensive line coach this. I go, right now our backup offensive line is bigger than our first string. What if we played today? Because we have those kids that are seniors that are back. But I said, if we look down the road, we're getting some size, which is great because we got to build that back up.
Oh yeah.
But I tell you what, the kids that play for us right now are really strong. I mean, they're just killing it in there.
And you guys got that new weight room there, so you guys can. There's no excuses.
And then we posted. I think I showed you. We posted that big record board where everybody's every 8 weeks we max and we put up the new records up there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's also
your son's got one right now.
Oh really?
Robbie, because I only went back to 2019 because that's the only full set of records I have. I mean, I know some kids have lifted more weight over the years. I mean, because I know them. But I did not have a full set of who's max is because of the different coaching changes.
Right.
So we just starting in 2019, and right now he's number one bench press for weighing under 200 pounds since 2019. So his name's at the top of that board.
Oh, no kidding. Now I have to deal with this at home?
Yeah. Well, that's going to, I hate to tell him it's going to go down it's going to go down in March, but those kids are going, but his name's up on the board, and Arnell Asuna and Chase Richards and Mason Barber and Josh Berna.
Oh no, nice.
Those kids are up on that board, and those kids, they've heard us talk about those kids, and Mason and Chase are going to be playing Division I football this next year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So they see those names and they know, hey, I got to catch those guys.
Sure, it's all about the battle within.
Yeah, and you want to be at the top of that board. When
Absolutely.
you leave, you want to be on the top of that board.
Absolutely, Coach. Thanks for coming in again.
Thank you.
And I
appreciate it.
I'm really, really happy that you're back.
I'm moving. Yeah, I'm moving great. Yeah, and so guys, I cannot stress enough to the public when that flower stand gets set up out there in front of the Legion Hall on the 11th and 12th. Guys, I know everybody wants to buy flowers for their Valentine, right? So but it supports cancer awareness, and that's the number one thing. I'm sure it helps our football program a little bit, but that's not what we're in for. When we were approached about it, we need to get back to the community. In fact, our kids went out and set up all the tents and set up the tables. And
oh, that's great.
Yeah, and that's what we're all about.
Cool. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, guys. Love to be back in the Crow's Nest here with Coach Crow. And as always, guys, we can't do this without our sponsors, Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaways, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Amber with Pillar Real Estate, and 805 Customs, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.